Hi guys, so welcome to another video. Today's video is going to be basically me talking about mental health and eating disorders. If you don't know, I have anorexia nervosa and have been suffering for around about 4 years now, and mental health has been something that I have struggled with badly over those 4 years. Whether it be PTSD, OCD, anxiety, depression, suicidal thoughts, and also self-harm. Yeah, it's played a big part in my eating disorder. So I was in university in 2018. I started my first year. I lived in halls, and basically I went on a night out, came back, helped someone to their room, and I was assaulted. I was sexually assaulted by this person, and when I went and told security, they told me I shouldn't have been in his room, and then that led to me not telling anyone. I didn't tell my family, didn't tell my friends, and it then developed into an eating disorder where I was exercising at the gym twice a day, walking to uni, skipping meals, only eating what I deemed healthy food. So there would be no stuff cooked in oil, there would be no takeaways, there would be no bread, there would be no hardly any pasta or rice. That went on for a long time. Parents didn't find out about the assault until halfway through my second year, and for them to find out at that point was hard. That was the kind of the short backstory of what happened. I will do a longer video if people want to see that, of what happened and what happened afterwards. Over the last 4 years, I've struggled a lot with PTSD, where certain things can trigger me off, whether it be someone walking up behind me too fast, or someone touching my side, or speaking close to me. I suffered terribly with crying and pulling away because I was so scared that something was going to happen. I also struggled with quite bad OCD and routines, so I would clean for hours on end a day. I would do things at a certain time every single day, and it had to be at the same time, otherwise I'd break down. So at the minute I'm mostly in control of it, but it's still quite hard. My routines consist of doing the washing, cleaning, the cooking, taking the bins out, feeding my pets at the same time. Everything has to be done at a certain time and a particular way, and that's OCD for you. If you don't do it, you break down, you panic, you can't control your emotions. Another thing is, I've actually forgotten what I was going to say. Oh yeah, self-harm and suicide. Now this is quite deep and quite trigger warning for a lot of people, so I will just say that now. If you don't want to hear about this next part about suicide and self-harm, I would advise you to skip further along in the video. So yeah, I self-harmed quite a lot in my second year. It would only be in places where I could see, so no one would find out that I was self-harming. It got quite repetitive and quite often where I would do it, and luckily I was at that point I wasn't suicidal, so I knew I wasn't going to take it further than the self-harming. But for me, self-harming was a way of releasing my anger and my pain, because I felt so alone and so trapped that I felt the only way I could release that pain and that anger was to hurt myself. And as most people know who have self-harmed, it does take the pain away for a while, but then you go straight back to that feeling because it doesn't last. Now for me, I managed to do this without people knowing for a long time. And it was only when I was in my third year at Christmas that I went too far, and I called my mum. I told her to come pick me up from uni. I told her I wasn't coping. I told her I'd been self-harming. I literally opened up to her about everything. We then went to the doctors and I got put on antidepressants. Now, for a lot of people, it works. For me, it did. I overcame the self-harm, got a little bit better, and I felt happy. I felt more able to control my emotions. Now, the suicide part of the story happened later on after I finished uni. So it's when I started to go into my relapse of my eating disorder again. Probably January time, so only a few months ago. I felt like I had no way out. I felt that, you know, I've relapsed now. There's no way I can recover again. So I felt like there was no way out. I didn't want to be here anymore. I didn't want to keep hurting people around me. So I planned to end it, but I never got round to writing when. I didn't put a date, I didn't put a time. And for me, looking back at that now, I think it was a way of saying you don't really want this, you don't really want to end it, you don't want to put everyone through that pain. And that's how I take it now, because looking back, I'm so proud, you know, of myself that I asked for help and I didn't do it. I got help, I got a psychiatrist, I got the support I needed, and I'm not in a place anymore where I want to end it. There's hard days, don't get me wrong, where I am struggling with my eating disorder thoughts. At this point now, I don't go back to thinking that I want to end it. And I had anger towards myself that I was going to end it, because I felt weak. I felt like I was being a coward for giving up. But that was because I was at my lowest, and I know that now. But back then I felt like a coward. And it's hard because suicide happens so much in society. You don't realise how much it affects people. And I've known people who've tried to commit suicide, and see them go through that, it is heartbreaking, because you know that a few months ago I could have been them. And I'm so happy that I got help. And I want to help people understand that there is help out there, there is support out there. Anyway, I'm going to move on from that, because suicide and self-harm is such a massive area to talk about. I will do another video of it. For me, mental health in my eating disorder recovery has played a big role. Sometimes good, sometimes bad. Good mental health days aren't talked about now. No one talks about the positive side of it, the days where you are happy, the days where you are able to love yourself for who you are. And I'm now thankful that I'm having more days where my mental health is good. I can explain to people how my mental health has changed the past couple of months, and that's all because of the people around you and the help and the support that you can get. It's so important to see those out there, because they save people's lives. They do, they really do. And yeah, mental health is something that has impacted my eating disorder quite a lot. I'm gonna end this video here because I could talk about it for hours. If anyone wants to request a video, let me know in the comments below, or head over to my Instagram, message me privately, and I will make sure that I do a video on it. So I have just done this whole video on mental health, and I will actually insert clips of how it can be deceiving. Times where I've put on a smile or put on a brave face, when in reality I was actually suffering behind the smile. So I will post a video and show you, and then post another video of what I'm actually feeling or how I'm actually coping. Love you. Don't cry. So here's a little bit later on. I forgot to mention, I'm going to insert a clip of a guy named Brandon who I follow on Instagram. So Brandon's just going to talk about mental health and how it isn't your fault and how you should look after yourselves. And it's such an important message, and he's so supportive to everyone.
Mental health illnesses are nothing to be ashamed of. It doesn't matter that you have it, it doesn't define you as a person. And yeah, I mean, you guys are strong and remain strong. Just keep going, look after yourself.
Just to let you know, there is help out there, so yeah. See you all next time.